Hello and welcome to the KBB Review podcast. I'm George Dean and thank you for joining me once again for another special episode in our Rising Star mini-series. And we're treating you to not one, but two Rising Star reveals this month. For those of you paying attention, each month we've been taking the time to speak with all 8 of our Rising Star finalists to find out a bit more about them ahead of this year's KBB Review Awards on March 2nd. We'll have one more episode later on this month revealing the final Rising Star of 2026, but today's all about Mariam Joseph, a junior designer at Simply Bathrooms. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if that business rings a bell to any of you, because director Sophie Harold was a finalist in 3 separate categories at last year's awards, so the fact that Mariam is a Rising Star this year should come as a surprise to no one, and she's also up for another award this year as well for bathroom design, so that's another incredible achievement. We were absolutely blown away by her entry this year, which mentioned, among several other things, that she quote-unquote genuinely changed the direction of the business's design team for the better, which is incredibly high praise. And after the discussion you're about to hear, I'm sure you'll see why. But as always, before we hear from her, I'd just like to take a quick second to thank our Rising Star sponsor, Blum. And as I'm sure you'll no doubt know, we've teamed up with Blum to once again cast a spotlight on this year's up-and-coming names in KBB retail, who really do deserve a bit more attention and awareness. As we all know, this sector has an incredibly bright future, but that future depends entirely on a steady stream of fresh talent coming in and making their mark on everything. So we're genuinely delighted to be working with Blum for another year to highlight our up-and-coming industry leaders. Right, that's more than enough talking from me. I'll shut up now so you can all meet our 7th Rising Star, Mariam. So thank you so much for meeting me today, Mariam Susan Joseph. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. Very good. And we're delighted to have you as one of our Rising Stars this year.
Oh, I'm also too excited for it.
Good, that's what we like to hear. Well, the first thing I always love to ask is basically, could you tell me a little bit more about how you came to enter your role? Because it says here that you're a junior designer at Simply Bathrooms, but I was just wondering how you actually came to work in that field.
So I actually originally trained as an architect, and I worked in India as a junior architect for over a year after graduating. So when I moved to the UK, I was very clear for myself that I didn't want just any job. So I want something very creative, technical, what I studied, what something I genuinely enjoy, because we spend a lot of time in our life at work. So I just want something that I love the most. So when I came to UK, I spent few months refining my portfolio with both my academic and professional work. So and at that time, I came across the design assistant role at Simply Bathrooms and Interiors. So yeah, I looked at their website, their projects. Oh my God, it was so good that something clicked me, the attention to detail, the quality of their designs, the way they go through the spaces. It was amazing. So even though I don't have any bathroom experience, or especially the virtual worlds experience, that's the CADs they use continuously in the bathroom designs. So, but I knew my architecture background, my CAD skills would be a great to this team. So I went on an interview, and it was Sophie and Neil who was interviewing me. And honestly, I was very nervous because it was my first time, and especially in UK, because I've been from India, so it was very new to me. But I was very confident in my work and my willingness to work. So I presented my portfolio to them. So after the interview, on the very same day, I got a call from Sophie that I got this role. So, oh my God, I was so excited. I called my parents, my friends. I shared my happiness with them. So yeah, this is how
Oh my
my
goodness.
journey came into the industry.
So literally on the same day that they'd interviewed you,
Yeah,
they'd seen you, met up
exactly.
and gone, we absolutely need her. Oh, that's fantastic news.
Yeah. And also, I think it's been over a year, 1 year, 5 months I have been joined in Simply Bathrooms and Interiors, and I have been promoted 2 times. So it was a very great achievement for me, and the team was very lovely, and I really love to work with these guys.
Yeah, that's one of the things that struck me about your entry, because I'd seen that it says you've been promoted twice in just 12 months.
Yeah.
How's your role changed then? What did you come in as?
So I come in as a design assistant where I was assisting Sophie and I was administrating work on the company. And then I have been promoted as a trainee designer where I started to do the CADs, some of the designs and stuff, and had client meetings, onboarding meetings. And then I've been promoted recently as a junior designer where I got more responsibilities.
So you're going to be basically in charge of the company by next Christmas, from the sounds of things.
Oh my God. Yeah, but it was truly grateful. It was like I dedicated myself in works. I was very curious in learning new things and the support from my team. Everything just made me what I am.
Yeah, and one of the things that I think is really interesting about that is obviously it's incredible at any job to get promoted, twice, and especially that quickly. But we know how good Simply Bathrooms is. I mean, Sophie was a finalist in 3 of our categories last year, which was incredible. And as I'm sure you've recently seen, she's a finalist again this year.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so we know the caliber of work that comes out of Simply Bathrooms is incredibly high standard. So for you to progress that quickly in an environment like that is a massive testament to your skills, I think.
Yeah, it was. It was like, actually, I think it comes down to 3 things. What I believe it's curiosity, discipline, and support. So I genuinely curious and enjoy learning. So whether it's a software, products, or technical details, I also really value process and accuracy. So because I know how much impact that has later during the installation, the communication with the project manager, the installation team, it's all crucial. So I have been through all these things. So each day is a learning for me. So I have been incredibly lucky to have a strong support and trust from Sophie, Neil, my whole team. So it's been given a responsibility made me want to work even harder and deliver the high standard every time.
Yeah, and it sounds like you've returned that with an incredibly high standard of work as well, because I've seen some of the images of the work that was submitted by Sophie for your entry. And again, I've got to say that was an incredible level as well.
Thank you so much.
But could you just walk me through maybe what an average day looks like for you then as a junior designer?
My role is very design-led, but also highly technical. So on
Right.
a typical
sounds it.
so on a typical day, I might be producing detailed bathroom designs, maybe creating accurate CAD drawings or installation briefs, and checking technical specs, or supporting the projects and logistic team with their queries. And also, I attend a customer onboarding meeting. So that's something that happens before an installation work starts with one of designers. It will probably be me or any of my colleague with project manager, installation lead, and customer. And also, I work closely with Sophie on complex design concepts and make sure everything is coordinated properly before installation. So accuracy is a huge part of my role. So because good drawings, detailed briefs make everything on site run smoothly. So on the go, my role was expanded into other areas as well because we were rebranding our Simply Bathrooms and Interiors. So I was working on web designing as well.
Yeah, I saw that in your entry as well. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, so of the software skills, I don't know, I'm very, very mad on softwares. So all the 3D renders, the Photoshops, I love doing that. I love learning more. So I constantly watch YouTube videos where I can get more knowledge from these software. So Sophie was rebranding it. She have a vision in her mind that she wants something like this, something like that. The designs, the logos, everything was set, but she wanted to get everything together. So with my Photoshop skills, I could present something to her, so which she liked a lot. So I communicated with the web designing thing because I'm not aware of the coding stuff. I only know how to design it. Yeah, so I just designed everything, how the page should look like, and just forwarded to the coding team, the website team. So they implemented that in the website, and yeah, that's how it worked.
Because one of the things that really strikes me about what you're saying is, where you've had your architecture degree and now you're working in the bathroom sector, but then also you're able to translate that into web design, essentially, minus the coding bit, thankfully. You sound like someone who's actually quite a versatile person, which I think is a really good skill to have for someone who's quite early in your career.
Thank you so much. It's because when I was doing my architecture degree, I don't know, my professor always says that architect is someone who's having a jack of all trades. So, so we learn a lot of things. So after being an architect, most of my colleagues have went to different directions like architectural journalism, interior designing, web designing. So we learn a lot of things in architecture degree. So after the course we can choose whatever we like. So I was very intended to go for interior designing especially. So that's why I found this job. So designing small spaces will be much more present, so much new designs in small spaces. We could explore so much in it. So it was a great opportunity for me.
One of the things that I think makes you really interesting as one of our Rising Star finalists is obviously you're very creative because of the role that you do, but also you strike me as someone who's very logical, which isn't always something you see in designers. Like, you seem very meticulous. And I think that's really interesting because one of the things in your entry, I don't know if you've seen it, Sophie said you've got the company record for the fewest errors across the entire business.
Oh.
Is that true? Did you know that?
I don't know. Oh my God, I'm really happy for hearing that. Yeah, I try to make, sometimes I will see from the perspective of the installation lead, installation team, and perspective of the customer. So I feel like, what do they think if they see the installation brief? What do I need to include in the brief? What all technical details I need to include if I am at the position of a installation lead or a customer? So I almost think like that and include all the details. Maybe because of that, I don't know. I'm just thinking.
It sort of comes back to what I guess you said about architects or people with architectural backgrounds sort of have to be jack of all trades, don't they? So I guess that helps you think about what will the installer think about this, what they have to do, what will the customer think about this.
Yeah, I make a lot of mistakes, but I'm learning something from it. I try not to make the same mistake the next time. So I will record all of these things in my diary. I have a diary. So I will record all these things, what I'll need to be cross-checked, what I'll need to be done before. So yeah, maybe because, I don't know, this is how I process in my work.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really good way of doing it because, again, in such a creative field, there's not always a benchmark, I guess you could say, for how you're developing and what you're learning. So if you're actually making notes in a diary of what it is you're doing each day, what's gone right, what hasn't gone right, you've got a marker of your own progress as well. So I'm not surprised that you've progressed so quickly there.
Yeah, I believe that I haven't learned anything completely. I feel like every day is a new learning for me.
And speaking of learning, if you've come from a slightly different architectural background, what did you think of bathroom design when you first sort of started working in it? Because it must have been very different from what you were used to.
Yeah, exactly. Because when I was working in India, I was been working for a whole residence. So we don't give too much importance to each room. It's basically I was giving solution to the layout, how the layout comes. So I give options for interior designing, but not too deep. Like here, when I came, it was like selecting the grout colors was very important. Selecting the paint colors was very important. So even a very little detail was very important for it. So I learned a lot. It was like, I was like, oh my God, a small bathroom with so much of details. I'm seeing that for the first time.
Yeah, I suppose you would have been really used to looking at stuff from a really like zoomed out perspective, looking at stuff on a really broad scale. And then all of a sudden you're looking at stuff in a really detail-oriented way, aren't you?
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, it sounds really interesting and really fascinating to get to speak to you as well. If you've actually not seen your entry, I would love to point out something else that Sophie said, which is that, I'm going to quote word for word here. She said, Mariam's arrival genuinely changed the direction of our design team for the better, which I thought was absolutely lovely. And it's exactly the sort of thing we want to hear about one of our rising stars.
Oh, it's so sweet. Oh my God, I'm going to cry.
Well, just before we get to that point, I'll say goodbye to you then. But we are really excited to have you as one of our rising stars this year.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the nomination because it means everything. I never expected such a recognition like this early in my career. So especially after changing industries and moving countries. So being nominated makes me feel so valued and not just for my skills, but my effort, my growth. So I'm incredibly grateful to Sophie and the entire team of Simply Bathrooms and Interiors for believing in me. So excited.
Well, I feel like they sound like they appreciate you a lot as well, judging for the entry.
Yeah, they are. I need to say this. They are like my family. Like I miss my home very much, but my husband is there to support me in everything. But Simply Bathrooms and Interiors also part of my family. They're a lot to me.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Brilliant. Okay, well, I look forward to celebrating with you on the night and I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you, George. It was really nice meeting you.
You too.